I know I'm showing off how old I am when I tell you that when I was in high school, we didn't have word processors. We had typewriters. All our term papers needed to be typed, and if that wasn't bad enough, most of them had to have footnotes. I can't tell you how many times I typed text too close to the bottom of a page for a footnote to fit and had to retype the entire page again. The good old days? I don't think so. I wish I had Microsoft Word back in those days. Its Footnote and Endnote feature makes it very easy to include notes in your long documents. Just position the insertion point where you want the note reference to appear, click a button, set some options, and type in the text of your note. If it's a footnote, Word automatically puts it at the bottom of the same page that the reference appears, just where you'd expect a footnote to be. If it's an endnote, Word automatically puts it at the end of the document or the document section. I also have the navigation pane showing. If it isn't showing for you, click View and then turn on the navigation pane checkbox. Let's start out by adding a footnote in the Office Hours section of the document. You can click Office Hours in the navigation pane to get there quickly. In that section, click after the word Friday in the first paragraph to position the insertion point there. Now click References and then click Insert Footnote. Word places a numbered footnote at the insertion point, draws a line at the bottom of the page, places a matching number there, and positions the insertion point in the new footnote area so you can enter the footnote text. Let's scroll back up to see the footnote indicator in the text. Here it is right here. It's the number 1 formatted as a superscript character. If I double-click it, Word scrolls down to the footnote text area. Let's type in the text of the footnote. Office hours are subject to change without notice. That's all there is to it. Word will automatically keep the footnote at the bottom of the page on which the note indicator appears, even if you change pagination. Word will also renumber the footnote if you insert a footnote somewhere earlier in the document. Let's take a look at that. Let's go back to the beginning of the document to the section titled Employment Applications. We'll add a footnote at the end of that paragraph. I'll click there. And this time I'll use the shortcut key for inserting a footnote, Alt-Control-F. Note that Word used number 1 for this footnote. That's the same as the first footnote we created. But now this is the first footnote in the document, so it should be number 1. Let's add the footnote text, All employment applications are kept on file for 20 years. Now let's go back to the first footnote that we entered. A quick way to do that is to click the Next Footnote button on the References ribbon. Sure enough, this footnote has been renumbered to 2. You can use the Next Footnote menu to quickly scroll through all the footnotes and endnotes in a document. Let's go back to the first footnote. Endnotes work much the same way, but they appear at the end of a document. You normally wouldn't have both footnotes and endnotes in the same document. In most cases, you'd pick one format and use it throughout the document, but we'll add an endnote just to see how that works. Let's go to the Health-Related Issues section. We want to insert a footnote at the end of the last paragraph, which might be at the top of the next page. I'll click there. This time, on the References ribbon, click Insert Endnote. Word inserts an endnote reference, scrolls to the end of the document, inserts a line and the endnote reference number, and positions the insertion point for the endnote text. Let's enter the endnote text. We at Two Trees would be happy to discuss options with you. Any additional endnotes you insert in the document would appear here on the last page. They appear in numerical order based on the order in which their references appear in the document. And that's the basics of creating footnotes and endnotes. Easy enough, no? In the next video, I'll explain how to modify, delete, and format footnotes and endnotes.